So, y'all, we have here a one Chet Hanks, son of Tom Hanks, who has been involved in some pretty much, fuckery style behavior here for a while. I mean, we caught him out here slipping a while back, he called himself being a rapper and saying, and justifying himself saying nigga in his rap music. Now, of course, he came out and apologized. He blamed the fact that he was on them opioids. And that's what caused him to have that opinion. Now, of course, I don't believe that. I believe black people got on his motherfucking ass and he decided to come up with an excuse. He thought it was going to be cool. Now, there were some black people that were cool with it, but it was some bullshit to most black people. Here recently, he was doing a Jamaican accent, and then he decided to put this shit up online, and people called his ass out for it, like, yo, what the fuck, cuz? What the fuck are you doing? You're not Jamaican. Now, my Jamaican accent is trash. I'm not going to sit here. I don't sit around trying to talk like that or act like that or do anything like that, because that's not my accent at all. His white ass was doing it, and you had so many black women out here caping for this cave-dwelling white motherfucker and pardoned him, calling him zaddy and this type of fucking bullshit. They let him off with it, so he did it again. Come out here with his little Jamaican accent, what he would deem his Jamaican accent, right? And he was let off again. Black women pardoning this white motherfucker for sitting around acting like this, right? So black women, y'all gonna have to carry him. Y'all put him up. Don't try to put him down now. You're going to have to carry him all the way through his stupidity and fuckery. Here recently, apparently, he got into a conversation about cultural appropriation, where the issue was that white people wearing braids and having gold teeth, to him, is the same as a black person snowboarding. This is y'all's boy. So carry him. I'm going to play his explanation of what he's trying to say. I'm going to be pausing it through this motherfucking video to speak on the fuckery. Now, according to black women, he fucks black women. So therefore, he has some insight on black culture. His commentary will show that no, the fuck he does not. Black pussy is not making him smarter, like some of y'all will like to claim. It's not making him blacker, like some of y'all will try to claim. This motherfucker has a dumb ass logic, and he doubles down on that logic in this video. So let's get into it.
Okay, so that certainly opened it up for discussion, didn't it? Okay, so let me share with you guys some of the responses I've been getting, some of the other points of view that I've been getting in response to what I've put forth. This is the main one. People are saying, well, snowboarding is a terrible example because that's a sport and you can't compare a sport to people's hair.
Right.
Okay. That's true. That's true. But if you're focusing on what I said about snowboarding as a sport, you're missing the point. I didn't mean.
Bitch, ain't nobody missing the point. It was a stupid ass example. You had time to think, and that's the best you could do, you dumb motherfucker.
It as a sport. I meant it as a reference point for a community that surrounds it.
Right.
The community that surrounds snowboarding is mainly white.
Right.
Right? Okay, yes, anybody can snowboard. Anybody can go forth and perfect their skills at snowboarding. I'm not saying that white people have a monopoly on snowboarding. I'm saying it's a reflection point for a larger community, which is predominantly white, like snow.
So apparently snowboarding is white culture. This is what he is. This is the argument he created. Got some backlash, as he should have, because that's a sport. That is not white culture. It is nowhere similar to white bitches going around putting braids in their hair. It's not the same thing. And it's not the point, which I'll explain here more so as we continue.
Boarding or like motocross or something.
Motocross.
Because this is the other response I've been getting, is that people are saying white people have no culture.
And you don't.
That's another thing I've been seeing. People are saying white people don't have any culture.
You don't.
That to me is confusing, because just look at all the different varieties of European cultures. You know, like French people versus Swedish people versus, you know, German people, whatever. So that's one thing. But
here's the thing, and this is why this dumb motherfucker is confused. Because white people believe that their cultures come down to their practices. And when I say practices, I mean how they celebrate different holidays. They make that into their culture, most of which have been stolen from other people. You don't have a culture. White people are thieves. That's what they do. They take from everybody else. The only culture you have is not taking baths, living and laying up with animals, being in motherfucking caves, fucking your own siblings, fucking your children, fucking animals. That's white culture. Why are you not talking about that stuff? Not motherfucking motocross. Stop lying. We'll continue.
second of all, okay, let's assume that's true. Let's assume that white people have no culture.
It's not an assumption, bitch.
But if they did have a culture, what would it be like? If white Americans did have a culture, well, how would you imagine
genocide?
That culture to be? I imagine it to be something like one example, like snowboarding. You know what I mean? Like the culture surrounding snowboarding, or like motocross, where it's just like mostly white people. You know?
So basically, he's dedicated to staying dumb. Motocross and snowboarding are his examples of white culture. They're sports. You could have said fucking water polo and canoeing. Sports. Y'all had to come up with sports that you predominantly are interested in so you could actually win at some shit. That's what y'all did. We'll continue.
I mean, not saying that it has to be that way or it should be that way.
Right.
But that's just, for the most part, what it is. But if you don't like that sports, if you're getting caught up on the sports analogy,
it's
then let's switch it up.
It's a dumbass
Let's switch it up to hip-hop versus country music.
Okay, switch up. Let's see what your switch up got for me.
If a white person gets into hip-hop and they start wearing braids and gold teeth, y'all call that, some people call that appropriation.
Right, it is.
But if a black person puts on cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and gets into country music, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what you got?
Of course there's nothing wrong with that. Why?
Wait a minute. That's what you bring, Chet? Do you know who started country music? You ignorant motherfucker. Do you know who started country music? Y'all don't have no rhythm. Y'all don't got no damn music. What are y'all what are you talking about? I might give you motherfuckers opera. Maybe opera. And that's just maybe. Y'all don't have music. Country music was started from black folk. Y'all took it. And if you want to sit here and lie and say, well, there's nothing wrong with that if a black person puts on cowboy boots and sings country music, ask the white motherfuckers that was mad about Lil Nas X. Check with your motherfucking people. They were not okay with that shit at all. We'll continue.
Would anybody have a problem with that?
Yes.
So if you don't have a problem with a black person wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots and loving country music, then why do you have a problem with white people wearing braids and gold teeth and getting into hip-hop music? Okay, well, like I said before, it's because this whole idea of theft,
because y'all thieves.
They take it from us and they take it for themselves and then benefit off of it without helping the people that they took it.
Because you bitches are thieves. That's what your culture is. You want to talk about what white culture is, that's what it is. It's theft. It's murder. It's rape. It's genocide. That's what y'all do. You take shit and act like it's yours. The same reason you believe that country music is a part of white culture. Because you stole it. The same thing Elvis, bitch ass Presley did to rock and roll music. Y'all steal. And you don't pay homage, you just steal. You don't do anything for the community in which you're stealing from, you just steal. What the fuck?
But this is the question I just want to pose on this. Is why does it have to be all about stealing?
Because
like,
that's what you
why
do.
You have to look at it as like a white person who's wearing brazen gold teeth is like trying to manipulate and steal from black culture? Why can't it just be that he loves black culture?
No.
And he wants to be, that's just what speaks to it.
No.
Why are we so caught up on this idea of theft and stealing? Like,
because
everything
y'all
is so
thieves.
malicious.
What the fuck?
And one person needs to steal from another to profit off of them and then make it theirs. Isn't it just as easy to look at it from the other perspective, which is just people like what they like, they love what they love, and nobody should have a problem with that?
Really?
Why would we have a problem with that?
Right.
Which is just what leads me to my point again.
What's your point? Let's hear it one more time.
Why are we so quick to be angry and tense upon the blurring of racial communities instead of just being welcoming towards the blending of racial communities?
Welcoming. Okay.
That is my only point.
That's your point?
That's the only point I'm trying to make.
Right.
Maybe the snowboarding was a bad example, but
it was trash.
What about that example that I just gave you now?
It was trash too. Let me tell you how.
So now we can discuss that.
I'll tell you how it's
Much
trash.
love.
Now, here's the thing. This motherfucking white man is talking about somebody being welcoming. Black people are the most welcoming people to our detriment on the motherfucking planet. White people have been welcomed by black people, if we're using this terminology, and white people have stolen black culture, profit from it, and will still fuck around and be racist. That's what they do. That's what y'all do, Chet. If you check with your people, you'll understand why people are talking about theft. You'll understand that if you study your actual white culture. If you study that, you'll see that anytime you motherfuckers are welcomed into anything, you steal it, you change it, and then you turn around and act like you created it. That's what y'all do. Where the fuck have you been? Tom Hanks, come get your boy. Because if this your son, I can only imagine you didn't educate him on who the fuck you people are and who y'all have been. Now I do understand. Let me give some a piece of understanding. You take somebody, for example, some of you may remember somebody like Paul Wall, right? This is a man, a white man who grew up down in Houston. He makes grills, made the gold teeth, diamonds and shit all in the teeth. Paul Wall, who grew up in that culture, who grew up in those hoods. And black people actually respect Paul Wall. They went to him to make grills. He even was a rapper for a little while. But he grew up in that culture. He didn't decide to be a grown-up and say, I like that. Let me go fuck with it and pretend that I've been fucking with it my whole life, because now I just love it. That's not what it was. He wasn't in the goddamn suburbs somewhere and then deciding, after living a privileged life, deciding that he wanted to come in and steal from the motherfucking culture. He grew up in that shit. That's a little bit different than what you talking about, Chet. You been rich all your life, man. You want to come out here and be a rapper and say nigga? Black folks said, well, no. You want to come out here and make a white person coming out here appropriating black hip-hop culture with braids and gold teeth and make that like snowboarding? Nah. You don't get to do all of that shit. And then you're going to talk about country music, something else that y'all stole, and act like y'all created? That's the whole point, Chet. And y'all black women, again, y'all got to carry this motherfucker. Y'all validated him. Y'all let him come out here, called him zaddy, talked about how sexy he was. Even on this video, when I saw it posted, black women talking about how sexy he was. Still, even as he's being this motherfucking stupid. Now, some black folk were saying, well, he just needed an explanation. He's looking for answers. And that may be so. But if y'all get a chance, send this motherfucking video to his bitch ass. Because clearly, he don't understand white culture, European culture, and what it is and what they've done historically. How they rape the rap game, rape the culture, and then turn around and still be racist. Yeah, shit. What, Miley Cyrus did that same shit with her white ass. Came out here, Juicy J put her on. She comes in, robs the culture, use the culture to get her some goddamn some fame, and then turn around and say, I'm done with hip hop culture. It's too materialistic for me. We got a white bitch named Billie Eilish or some shit. Her little young ass won some Grammys and came out here, and then she started talking shit about the hip hop culture as she's sitting around hanging out with hip hop artists. Talking about how hip hop is, they embellish and lie too much. So her music is better than hip hop. White folk gonna be disrespectful as fuck. They don't pay homage. They don't give the due respect. And then want to turn around, and this society will act like that when black people wear braids, it's thuggish, it's ghetto. But then when white folk do it, it's a goddamn fashion statement. That's another problem that you need to deal with, Chet. If you're going to be dealing with this shit. It's ghetto when black folk do it. It's trash when we do it. Something wrong with us when we wearing fronts and braiding our hair. But when white folk do it, it's okay. It's fashionable. It's marketable. An issue. As you need to be talking to white society. As you always should be, you white motherfuckers. You should always be talking to white society. Ask them why they was mad at Lil Nas X. Check with your people. What was they mad about? Black people invented country music. The cowboy boots and hat. Black people were the original cowboys. What are you talking about? But that's all the fuck I wanted to say, y'all. Y'all comment if you feel me to comment. If you can feel where I'm coming from, if you see the idiocy that this white man is out here spewing. Motocross, snowboarding, is like white folk coming out here braiding their hair all while calling Keisha ghetto for it. How? Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Links to follow me on social media in the description box. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is.